Morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. End of the week. We've had a pretty decent week here. See if I can get you up on stream so I can see you all. Can we get you up? Ay, ay, ay. Give me a second, folks. Hoping I can get you up on stream so I can see you all. There we are. All right, there we go. Morning, everyone. Okay, so Friday, what's our job? Capital preservation first, right? We've had a decent week. Yesterday afternoon was really good. We caught more shorts in Discord together, which was fantastic. And the weekly models played out. So what we're looking at, well, remains that sellers are in control, higher time frame versus this, right? And we're starting to see some expansion, all right, as we've gone sideways for a while. This week's a confirmed rejection of the range. That was the Tuesday high of week. Since then, we're seeing downside pressure. All right, so downside pressure remains. Again, as always, what we have to be careful with is the semiconductors. You might see Intel had blowout earnings last night. But as I look over on my screen on the left, semis, well, they're gapping down and they're under VWAP right now. So they don't look too good. And that will be, you know, a correlated move for downside pressure if it remains that way. Our targets, if we are going to see downside pressure today, will be the previous week's low. And I'll tell you now in case you want to make note of it. Possible expected move today is from pre-market as low as 28,248, 46 actually. And let me take from... and even lower from the smart range. So possibly going into the 200s today. If, this is a big if we get this drive down here. Now, if we do a measured move, think about this. All right, even a 1.5 move would take us into 28,000 for next week. So there's possible downside pressure. Again, we need to be careful. Why? You can see what we're bidding off. Did we close under the lower Bollinger Band yesterday? No, we caught a bid. We've tapped it again today. Need to be very careful looking for any more downside pressure. We also need to respect the value area we're in. So let's have a little look. I'll pull this up. All right, and you can see clearly we are inside, all right, previous day's value. All right. So we have an inside bar and we're inside value. So our first thing we should be thinking out is it's probably going to be a little bit choppy here today. We're not having an outside break. Outside break comes under this or over this, really. All right, so in here, rotation, certainly in here, rotation. If we just have a look at Globex, I just put something on here. Wrong one. All right, we're also rotating inside of Globex right now. You can see I've got this sort of gray area. This was for Globex high volume node. All right, so this is getting tighter and tighter. So if we think about yesterday's value and overnight's value, all right, we're getting pretty tight in here, folks. So we want to be very careful in here. These are the markets Alex tries to avoid and wait for cleaner moves outside of it. So just be aware of that. GEX, I'm just going to pull this down. We can think about the GEX. All right, we're opening up negative to neutral on the Qs. SPY's opening up neutral. So remember, as we start to get down here, volatility will start to pick up, which doesn't just mean it rolls over. It means the moves become bigger and exaggerated, very much like yesterday. All right, chop, 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 chop. The moves are pretty big. All right, these are pretty big moves. All right, from 4s to 7.5s. All right, there's plenty of meat on the bone there when we go into negative gamma. You just got to manage your risk correctly. All right, let's move up into ES and have a look at the other indexes and what's going on. All right, ES, clear rejection of that supply zone we've had in this week. A little poke over yesterday before failing. This is a walk back. All right, so we hit demand. We put in a higher low, failed to sweep. There's our walk back. This is starting to look a bit like a channel. All right, and this is the pivot. All right, so under here, rotation, backside of here, downside pressure, over this, reclaim of range. All right, so we want to be careful here. versus yesterday's level. Well, this is where we failed yesterday. So, in the morning, we can see if there's an opening drive and we come under this for a wash back down, or if we're going to rebid and hold, or if we're just going to open up and do nothing. I mean, at the moment, we're open up neutral and VWAP. That's like the worst location to open ever, right? It just means that is highly, highly possible. So I'm not jumping the gun to trade right now. It's not filling me with lots of things I want to do. Spiders, same kind of story. We can flip this. All right, make it easy for you guys to see. We can actually put another one on here. All right, those are the levels. The reclaims are much, much higher. Slight gap up on spiders. All right, and we'll just see here if we're going to go gap fill, and if there's weakness under gap fill, or if it's gap fill and reclaim, or if it's strength over here. All right, want to be very careful. Here's the dance. This is the dance. We've got to be careful. All right, on a Friday especially. Qs. All right, opening up flat to gap down right now. So relative weakness versus the SPY. Again, same story. Higher low. There's the sort of channel. Okay, are they going to bid this and try and get that rotation all the way back up to 700? Remember, this was the old put wall, which then became a call wall, and now is neutral zone. All right, so that's our big over under higher time frame, 700. So it depends, are they going to look for that move today, or are we going to see pops fail, rotation, and come and take out yesterday's low and previous week's low down here? All right, we're just going to have to wait and see how they develop. I'm going to probably wait for the open. Remember, I'll remind you today, we do have news after the open. All right, so 9:45 PMI and 10 o'clock new home sales. All right, be aware of that. Be aware of that. All right, let's have a look a little bit further out broader market, what we're seeing. All right, 90 still being held on crude. All right, did come back in a little bit, and it can afford to come deeper if it's actually going to do a breakout. All right, so remember what we did in here before. Rangy, 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 rangy. If we do one of these, oh my God, we've hit the top side of it. No way. Who would have guessed? All right, we'll see if pullbacks hold. All right, it might take a day or a couple of days to make a decision. Now, if they start building liquidity out here and then we get more news of, hey, this war's going to keep going on forever and ever, then, this is very, very possible then. That will be downside in the market because that increases inflationary risk, right? Because we're going to pay more for oil. All right, so we're watching this. It can afford like a little cool off after a very good move this month. It can afford a little cool off before having another go. But pretty bullish. An inside day, pullback day, but pretty bullish overall. VIX also, right, starting to look a little dangerous here, folks. So yesterday was the drive to 20s, right? We can see we're starting to see that upside lift. They are starting to hold bids around the 19s now. All right, they're trying to hold 19s. Through 19s, we go 20s through 20s. All right, if we get any form of squeeze out later this month or next month for some of these gap fills, all right, this is a risk-off market. All right, over 20 and squeeze, market is going to be in pain. All right, so we have to be very aware of that. You might want to set price alerts. Dixie continues to show strength. There we go. Again, this is not good for the market. Two-leg pullback, held the breakout. That was an easy buy. We talked about it. Held the higher low. Okay, an upside lift. You can see where I think it's going. And even if we do a measured move there, it'll probably work out something like that now. There we go. So that makes sense based on both liquidity and the measured move. There we go, right into there. I can pull this down a little bit. All right, so Dixie, upside pressure still available in that market. I would not be surprised to see it meander its way up there, and all the time it's doing that, it's pressure on the market. All right, mags. So 5 minute, going nowhere overnight. Same kind of story as the NQ. All right, higher low, building out a channel. All right, we've broken down from way, way up here. All right, this is just really a question of, are they going to roll over and sweep, or can they base and try and get a move up on a Friday? We're going to have to wait and see. But at the moment, doesn't look too great. It's just opening up flat. Semis, all right, equally weighted semis. gapping down here. So the Intel news last night on earnings, blowout earnings as expected. What's happened since? Well, we've given it all back in the semis. So we're watching this, and arguably we're starting to see backside pressure. Now, if we see that today and they do start seeing downside pressure, we're looking down here. Now, if we look at the options chain on the triple leverage, you can see we're pinned in at the moment. Call walls at 160, equal zone is basically 150, 149. All right, under that's where pressure starts. All right, individual names, Apple holding on. All right, it's trying to hold a base above this. Sorry, aircon's come on. Sorry, folks, don't want to freeze my tits off in the morning. Apple trying to hold this base. You can see even since we just said it, it's just found a little bid on there. So on the neutral zone, PDC. So I'll be watching that today. 321s to sort of, 321s. See if they can hold that all the way down to VWAP. Amazon doesn't look too good, starting to lose its node. All right, this is a second leg pullback. It's failing to make a new high here. It's at PDC. All right, if they can't get back through the 35s, you're going to see downside pressure. Goog, remember, this is all about CapEx spend. Goog, you can see where we're thin. All right, we can see where we're thin. They need to hold a base over 320 to have a shot to come and test 26 or anywhere near up here. We're just not able to do it. I'm like, the CapEx spend is just freaked everyone out, and the fact that they're going to have negative cash now. So they're having to raise money to pay for chips. Just let that sink in. For the first time in history, they're going to have negative cash flow. They have to raise money to pay for chips. Mental. Meta, all right, we'll see how Meta reacts. Meta tried to change their model knowing that they were in pressure. That's why we saw some relief in Meta, but everyone's concerned about earnings now. All right, this does not look good. This really does not look good. Softy, same story. It's finding a bid here, which is impressive. All right, relative strength in Microsoft here. We'll see as we come up into these levels. If we can start basing out here for that upside back into the old range, that's a very good sign if they can do that on Softy. So relative strength there. Looks like it's had some news this morning. Nvidia, there you go. There's like weakness in Nvidia, right? Gapping down Nvidia, even with the Intel move, right? Even with semiconductors move, they've given the whole move back, and they're now gapping down today. It's not really a very good look here for semiconductors. So if Nvidia can't hold this box, it's going to be in trouble. Tesla, all right, that thing got nuked on earnings. It's due some relief. It's SSR today, so we'll see. Well over 10% down yesterday. We'll see. It's going to be harder for sellers, short sellers, to get involved, but it doesn't mean there isn't more panic from buyers. So there's more downside pressure available. You've got all these wicks that they can come and start attacking here. But yeah, I mean, yesterday was the sell day. Today's going to be a little bit harder with it being SSR, but we will see. We will see. All right, let's get us prepared. In we go. Zoom this in, pull this out. Pressure starting on the market already here, and we haven't even opened. So market unopen, seeing drives lower at the moment. And we're coming right back down towards previous day's value, very low. All right. Semi's getting nuked. Yeah, Semi's getting absolutely nuked there at open. I mean, like I said, they've been propped up by CapEx spend, but the CapEx spend is now coming from borrowing. And at what point does that end? Here we go, folks. Let's see. My hands are off the mouse for a moment. Let this make a decision. Give the open a chance to settle. Yes, you're watching 55s, really. Semis come down to that neutral point, 149, 150. If they start losing that, they're going to be in big, big problems. Mag's actually trying to push here. So not in alignment. Big buyer at these lows. So holding in front of value, they might rotate back up here if they get some strength. I'm just going to be patient here and let it do whatever it needs to do. I know 70k, I know it's absolutely insane. There's a little bit of spend behind that video that went viral and it's gone bonkers. 70k subs, it's absolutely insane. Cannot believe it. I'll take it though. I'll take it though. I was thinking, oh, if I get a disc by 2020, at some point in 2027 for 100k subs, I'll be happy. Might get the disc at the end of this month. John, thank you so much. Every Friday, John, you are the best. I appreciate you, my friend. Okay, New York Open failing. Pressure continuing in this market. Semis trying to hold and turn back around for the 149, 150. All right, it's very, very key there. MAG going absolutely nowhere. Stuck inside overnight range. VIX trying to get back up to the 19s. No rejection of 19s. Big seller caught those lows there at 500. Big 100 lot seller just got caught down there, folks. Worth noting. Might see upside relief if they can start printing over. Another big seller has just come in here at 23s. And semi starting to turn around now. So it's possible we might start seeing some relief here. It depends on the MAG. MAG now starting to sell. So the rotations are already taking place here. I think we might get some relief here upside because we've just had some big boy sellers come in at 23s and 500. So if they hold the bid at 23s or 500, we're going to see relief. We will see. So there's the 23s. MAG breaking down. They're at low of day. They might come for gap fill here. So we just held 23s there. We might see relief starting here. See if we can get involved in this. If so, if they're going to hold these prints. Big ifs, but maybes right now. All right, let's see versus this New York Open. Small piece starting long here. Not giving it room. And see if we can just get relief upside with those sellers caught. See if we can get a scalp here to start the day. Stops already in the money. Nice. We've got a big buyer coming in here. Seeing upside pressure. Here we go. All right, stops moving up. This is a nice move to start the day. And let's see if we can get up to PDC here. Beautiful. Trimming some here because this is a squeeze. And I'm going to move stop up to 55 to protect that big buyer that came in. Happy to take the knockout on the runner here if needed. We made really good money there very, very quickly. It was nice. It's just reading the order flow with those sellers that got stuck. Almost knocking me out. Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. Left me in by a tick. Out. Caught me that time. Okay, so why did we trade that? It was just the sellers at the lows, folks. These guys down here. All right, if I move this to a 1 minute chart, you'd see it probably a bit easier. All right, these guys down here, if it can read the order flow for us, there were some big boys got stuck at the lows, and they can't do it. Well, when that wakes up, I'll show you. There we go. All right, these guys down here, 120 lot, 100 lot, they both got caught at the lows, shorting the lows, and we saw relief. So we take the New York Open, we're holding value. The drive is up here. And of course, it's just stopped me out to the tick. Of course it has. But there we go. Here comes the relief. You mother clucker today, NQ, or this week. All right, and this is your target here, 620s. And make sure you've paid yourself on the way up. Nice trade to start the day. Okay, VIX rejecting 19 coming lower. That's a great reclaim on the semis of 149, 150 after that dunk. They're coming up to a pre-market shelf now. So 54s to 55s become key. If they get through that, they go gap fill. Here you go. I cannot believe it's done me dirty like that. It's just cost me an extra 70 points here. There you go. So trim most here. You should be out, I would say, 70% plus of your position. That's a beautiful move. I cannot believe it took my runner there. What a bugger. Yeah, W's in chat if you got that with me. Nice, really nice move to start the day. All right, and that came from understanding what the broader market was doing. All right, semis into demand. If you watch 149, 150, we talked about it pre-market. 149, 150, right, neutral zone. clear out, reclaim, positive gamma, upside. They can do more for gap fill if they want. NQ did the same with sellers caught at the lows. We just had nice confluence there for about a 3-4 minute squeeze out. Right, you've now filled the gap, so you should be out 70-80% of your position. That's your low-hanging fruit, that gap fill, which you just hit. This is a high volume node above it. We don't expect to get through that. Congrats if you got it. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. I'm flat now, waiting. So semi's coming back down to the 150, 149. Now, if we break below here, we have value area low. We can look for expansion under this. This is where we need to clean out the wicks today. So I'm just going to wait and see how they want to develop this today. My eyes are on the hourly as much as anything else, and understanding that we're inside of yesterday's value, we can keep rotating. It can absolutely keep rotating. Okay, so we're testing these sellers who are at 123s. Now, if we pop up towards 70 now and start to fail, I will consider the short. I'll watch semis here at 149, 150 carefully. If they fail, I will consider the short. Otherwise, they're just going to hold. Sellers still stuck at lows currently. Another big seller's just come in here. Love you, darling. You out? What time are you back? All right. Give me a call when you're done. Okay, mag holding neutral right now at New York Open. Semi's holding 149s. Being patient here. Just patiently waiting. Like the stream, please, folks. Yes, Izzy's right. Like the stream, please, folks. So we got some buyers caught at 70s right now. 70s to 77s. We remain in range. We're near value area low. I just want to see if these buyers remain caught at 70s. What I'm waiting for the drive up here to see if they become sellers or if we reclaim it. If we reclaim it, there's no downside pressure. It would just be a high low and a trade back up to high volume node again. This is the test towards them. Semis are absorbing here, so I don't feel great about the rotation here. Might have been it. Semi still holding 150, 149. They're not willing to let it go. That was it. That was probably it. I've probably missed that, hesitating, looking at semiconductors there. Right, that's confirmation those buyers are stuck. We have to see if there's another way of getting in now. Very wicky down here. Here's the pressure. Sellers are going to get their way. We're going to go to previous day value area low here. So I'm trying a short for continuation here. Where are we looking for that short? 40s and 23s. 70s was the move, the one I called. Probably turning there to say, love you, probably cost me a trade. Don't tell her. She can buy dinner tonight now because of that. Oh, she is indeed. She is indeed worth it. Right, Semi's still holding 149s, 150s. I'm watching how we act here at 20s, and I'm watching how we act here at 50s. We're going to look for the continuation back down to here. Big buyer at these lows. I doubt he gets rewarded. Semi's looking like they're going to break down here. Can we just get a little pop a little bit further up? I don't really want to short the lows where the sellers got stuck this morning. Big starting to turn around, which is good. Mag's now under VWAP. Semis look like they want new lows here. Just want to see if we can get a little lift to sell into. Here comes previous day value area low. So if you are shorting this, you want to be covering a good chunk of your position because we're still in value until we prove otherwise, right? We're still just inside until we prove otherwise. Can't get in. Semis breaking down. All right, weakness in semis now. And they can attack 140 now if they want. You want to be covering some here and then holding runners for the sweep down here if we're going to come for previous week lows and yesterday's lows. I want to get involved in this. I need pops. Relative strength in SPY today. That's gap filled and held. So take you over here. You can see the divergence. Okay, MAG, 0.5% up on the day. Semis, 1.70% down on the day. Software, just over 1% up on the day. All right, here's the rotation. Weakness, strength, strength. Right, there's your partial fill. You're at previous day value area low. Anything beyond this, you're looking for new lows. Semi starting to let go. Can't get involved. I want to be involved. These are your next targets. So previous day low and previous week low. Same targets as yesterday. So 433s, 400s or 408s. And then we can think about these 300s and 200s today. There you go. Expansion now. You're looking for previous day low now, folks. These green lines, 433s, 408s are your targets now. And then beyond that, expansion. I need a pullback to get involved. That's cool where your previous day value area low is. I don't know what to say. People say it all the time. I'm going to go by what I have on my screen. Because I don't know how you measure yours, what session you're looking at, how many ticks you use, anything like that. I'll go by my method. All right, rejection of value. QQQ coming for previous day low. SPY still holding up inside. I'm waiting to see if we get a retest of 149, 150 here on the Soxal for them to make a decision there. I don't really want to short these lows, so I'm waiting to see if we can come up 149, 150 and see if there's sellers up there. Please lift. All right, MAG starting to roll. MAG starting to roll and the semi starting to bid. So rotation taking place again. So they're bidding MAG, selling semis. Sorry, they're selling MAG, bidding semis now. So rotation has just started. Look, semis. I don't know if you can see that at the lows. And MAG selling and semis going. All right, rotation. We're in a rotational market. They're selling these and starting to bid this all of a sudden. Be aware of what the market's doing right now. It's not in alignment. It's in a rotation. Yeah, news in 2 minutes as well. You're right. Absolutely right. So PMI coming and then new home sales at 10 o'clock, top of the hour. Semis back inside 149, 150. MAG's just filled its gap. All right, MAG's now filled the gap to PDC. Be aware of that. If we reclaim previous day value area low, they can try and drive up here to 20s. And if they reclaim that, they can try and get up to point of control, which is a high volume node from overnight as well. So MAG finding bid on PDC. Semi's now rejecting 150s. This is perking my interest. If we can pop and fail here, I want to be involved. node? 503s to 520s. There's liquidity being built out here at the moment. It's just pressing lows. It won't pop up for me. I want to get involved before we sweep. We're outside of previous day. We're starting to see some seller exhaustion down here. So if they can't snap soon, you're going to see a pop back up. And that's what I'll be waiting for if I can get involved. Right, there's the internal sweep. It's not going to let me in. Can already feel it. It's coming for previous day low now. Seller at this low just caught 450s. You need to get under him. And then we're looking for expansion to previous day low. I'm trying to see if I can get involved here on any form of pop to get down to 33s here. There is a 100-lot seller just got caught at 450s, folks. Mag holding PDC at the moment. Please let me in. Give me some way of getting in. Please. Pretty please. These are your targets. Green line and green line. Let's move this down. These are your targets here. Want it to pop where? Well, the edge of value or this low volume node? It won't, though. It will not. My wife's going to cost me a few hundred points today. I can feel it. I can feel it. Relative strength on SPY. SPY's coming for high of day. Be aware of that. So I'm going to assume energy is being bid. And I'm going to assume, what else is being bid? Let's have a look. Finance being bid. And healthcare. Healthcare's up really nice today. Yes, didn't make a new low. Yes, because they're bidding on healthcare and finance and energy. So divergence, but it's because we're very focused this market on the semiconductors versus the capex spend of mag right now. That's what we need to focus on. And those are much heavier in the queues. All right, still that seller at the lows at 450 caught. I'm waiting to see if we can drive up here and give me some way of getting involved here. Need to be very careful as mag starts to turn around and look back towards VWAP. VIX getting crushed here a little bit as well. ES doesn't care. Well, you know, there's quite a big difference between what's in the NQ and what's in ES. A lot of people seem to not understand. They just go, oh, one took the low and the other one didn't, means it's going to do this. No. Understand what you're trading, right? If you've got strength, if energy is ripping up with oil, which it is, all right, is energy in the NQ? No, it's not. Is it in the ES? Yes. How about finance? Yes, in the ES, not in the NQ. How about healthcare? Yes, in the ES, not in the NQ. Okay. So what do you think is happening if we've got three sectors which are all green and they're not in the NQ, but the NQ sectors are bleeding? There's a difference, isn't there? I'm still waiting here to see if this can drive out. I think we will take the lows. I'm just waiting to get filled. If we can come up and I can see buyers get trapped trying to be aggressive is what I'm waiting for. So here's the test of value. We'll see if we come anywhere up here. I'm going to watch 500 and 520 here. Right, MAG just caught a bid from PDC. It's gone straight up through VWAP towards its New York Open here. Semi's holding a bid as well. They're going to come and retest 49.50 again. I'm patiently waiting here. There was a buyer just came in there at 10s a little bit. That might have been it. Might need a little bit more. And we're going to have to be careful now because we're going to start to rotate value as well. So if they hold a print here at value area low from yesterday, they can try and get the move back to New York Open. If they move that, they can try and get up to POC. So I want to be careful here if they're going to hold this print. Yeah, they didn't hold the print. Well, we didn't get to 20. Oh, this thing's melting now. Please give me a fill. Please come up and test this guy at 500. All right. You're not going to get me. All right, those are your covers, folks. Man, they whacked that. That's a bit like yesterday. I was waiting to get filled anywhere up here after the turn, and it just turned so quick that I couldn't get a fill for the short. All right, you're almost taking out previous week low. I think you will take that. Previous day's gone. We want previous week. So any rejection now of this shelf here, 60s, is a short back down. It's whippy. Just be aware of that. It's very, very whippy here. We should take out previous week low, and then we can look for expansion. I'm now looking for this short now. I'm in on that last pop up to previous day low. Here's previous week low. All right, covering some here. Now I'm looking for expansion model lower. And we'll see if we can get down to these put walls. Here we go, folks. So my stop's now moved in the money. I'm short from previous day low, the green line on your screen, and we're looking for the put wall and expansion. Here we go. Big bar at these lows. He's going to get hurt. He's an idiot. Yeah, you're hurt. See you later, mate. And I'm going to start moving my stop down. See if I can protect previous week low now. Let's see if we can stay heavy versus that. Man, they did that move so quick for that move back to here. We just talked about a drive up and a fail, and then they just let that go so fast. All right, runners down to here if we can get there. Are we long? Get out, you rage-baiting mother clucker on a Friday. Get out, get out, get out, get out. All right, ES, letting go. Gap fill now complete on the SPY. That's letting go. Alignment's great. Suddenly we've got alignment. Everything's in a sell. VIX coming for 19s. We look good. Our next target is down here towards the 300. Look at the alignment. Oh my God, everything went in alignment. Let's sell, sell, sell. Thank you. All right, and that's when we get the continuation. Absolutely beautiful. 310's the next level, folks. Let's see if we can get down there. Discount. Get out of here. You're all ICT rage baiting, perm wearing, unicorn riding, mother cluckers. Get out of this stream. My mummy bought me a unicorn. Here we go. Put walls the next target, folks. I'll remind us of where potential expansion can happen to today. All right, so pre-market, they estimated 359s. We're there now. That's your pre-market. Currently, since the open, they're now estimating 114s possible for today. All right, so if you want a load in here, this was the pre-market estimation of the estimated move, expected move today. All right, we're now talking about this. All right, the options market has now decided this is possible. Through here, this is now possible. That's what they've just decided. What data feed do I use? What do you mean? And there's only one data feed, CME. Do you mean for options? Tanuki. I will do a video on it. I'll try and get a video done this weekend. All right, mag back to low of day. Now, I wouldn't mind a pop back up towards the 400s here, maybe even a little bit higher. All right, if we can flip this now, these are the old lows. I wouldn't mind a pop up towards this to re-add on if they want to do it. But we are into targets. Remember, this is the estimated move of today. Options are now saying we can come down here. You want to be out most of your money, folks. And then we're just runners now because we are expecting relief after this big wash. And we've now, all right, we have now completed the weekly move. Just remember that, those who have done the course, we have just completed the weekly move. We've done it. This was a perfect weekly model this week. It is exactly what we were looking for. You would have heard me mention it many, many, many times on stream. We've done it. And we'll see if this can lift back up. I can put some more size on at the moment. We're just holding tiny size, see how low we can go. I wouldn't mind a lift back up. So put wall here, 310s. Yes, also through a put wall already. SPY's got room. SPY's got room down to 735 right now. Put wall coming up as well on the Soxal 140. So you definitely want to be trimming here, folks. We can expect a reaction here. If we get through this, we go negative gamma and it can get really nasty. VIX is at 19. If we can get the 19 break above and hold, we can think about the move to 20s. But we're coming into put walls on everything I'm looking at here. QQQ, NQ, SOXL, all coming into put wall. Right here, where we just tapped off. All right. If we get lucky, we're going to get this move. But we would expect a reaction here. If they're fully risk off, we won't get a reaction. We'll just keep melting. Got to buy the course to get Discord. Yes, indeed. You'll do beginner to advanced course. Discord's then free. Comes with it. We've taken the low-hanging fruit now. All right, here's the low-hanging fruit. All right, this move here to here, blue box. All right, if we stay heavy on the blue box, we can think about expansion down to 100. You can see I've put it in. That's because of the measured move. But the low-hanging fruit's gone. This move to here is gone. All right, we've had it. And there's the reaction off the put wall as expected. All right, so we might come back up and test anywhere from 370 to 400, 390 here. Also reaction off SOXL's put wall. All right, so makes sense. Makes sense here. We did just have delta divergence on that last drive higher. Still holding to see if we can get lower, but might not happen. We might need to drive right up here. I'm not going to let this come back above 69s. What was that last high? 54s. Really, we can just use that. We break 54s, I'm out, and I'll look for a re-add short on a drive back up into LVM. Still some passive selling up here at 50s. Right, ES bidding off PDC. VIX rejecting 19s. This might start making that upside drift here to set a higher, lower high. Here it comes. I'm out there on the runner, and I'm going to let this just drift higher now, and then I'll see if I want to re-attack it. All right, so what we have now is moving value lower. We're underneath previous day's value. We've taken out previous day low, previous week low. We're going to look to see if we reject. All right, we can consider this, but I'd much rather we come up here, all right, for a new leg. Remember, measured our expected move, we hit. All right, we hit the low-hanging fruit. So now it's just a question of, are they going to do this? And if not, are they going to come back inside value and move up higher for the day? We've got more news coming in 2 minutes. Not big news, but it's worth noting. Is this a normal move so fast? Yes. I mean, in the current market and current conditions, we're negative gamma, so we expect bigger volatility. We came under New York Open. We came underneath value, so we expect expansion. We came under previous day low, under previous week low, so we ran stops. So we get bigger moves. ATR and volatility is high right now. Your VIX is at 19s. I'm waiting now to see if this can lift up higher for me to reshort into. 28, 300 buy. Not for me, mate. I won't be buying counter trend when we're in a risk off environment. That's not something I'm looking to do. You manage your risk as you want, but like there's no structural change here. Everything's suggesting lower prices. I'm just waiting for an upside lift so I can get short some more size. We just protected that shelf, didn't we? ES starting to flip its put wall here. Q's about to do the same. Mag's dancing on lower day. VIX is about to break out over the 19. Semis are still holding that 140 put wall. So this is basically our 140 put wall on the Soxal, right? So it's worth watching. All right, there's the semis turn. All right, so remember I said 149, 150 is going to be important today. We bid off it, we came under it, we start to see pressure. That's where we start thinking about shorts. All right, and we've come down to that 140. Again, low-hanging fruit's been taken. They can drift back up here for a retest of this shelf and VWAP by the time it gets there and see if they come to retest 150. If they do and they break, we have got room if they really want to let go. But again, low-hanging fruit's gone. Early on a Friday, we've hit the main targets. We've hit the main targets early on a Friday. That's kind of your dream Friday, to be honest, if we think about it. Right? We've had everything we want in half an hour. It's pretty good. That's what we want. Be done early. Big sellers at the lows. Yeah, I mean, the big sellers just came in at 38 and 46s. Actually, underneath them is a big buyer. There's a 100-lot buyer at 320. Kind of odd, if I'm honest. I want to see how high we can get here. Hopefully, we can do a second leg. So what I'm interested in is a second leg up. A bit like yesterday, really. All right, can we come up here and then see some kind of failure, and then we'll cover some here and here. Now, yesterday was the same, but we had more range. Anyone who traded with me in the afternoon session yesterday in Discord, I did post it on X for you guys. All right, like I said, we have to wait for this drift up. All right, there's our IB, there's the high volume, there's New York, there's the failure, and this is where we started to get short. All right, all the way down to 400. I left a runner down here trying to get filled. Right, I went out for the day, I had to pick my wife up and go out, and never got the runner filled, and it stopped me break even. But I did fill on the way down some other bits. It was a nice move in the afternoon. It's kind of what we're looking for here. We need that drive back higher to see if sellers are going to defend value or a shelf today, which we're starting to see now. All right, remember, if we come back inside this green line, then it's a failed break on a daily. Think about this. This is previous week, previous day. Right, if we come back inside here, it's a look below and fail on a week. If we come back inside here, it's a look below and fail on a day. If we come back inside here, it's a look below and fail on value for the day. So we expect sellers to want to defend these. Weekly, daily, value sellers. Weekly sellers, daily sellers, value sellers. That's what we're watching right now. That was probably just it. Much rather we get a second leg here. ES rejecting VWAP, New York Open, PDC, all in one place. I would much rather a second leg up here, if possible. Semis coming back into 140s, MAG back up at VWAP. VIX rejecting 19. So remember, under here, I'm going to have to start putting the bubbles on for you, aren't I? Here, we have some pretty big sellers. Can we pull that out? No, you're just going to be a prick. I need to make an indicator with this shit on, man. So I don't have to do this all the time. All right, these are where the buyers are caught. Another buyer here, and there is actually one down at these lows. He's right here. All right, you can see we're developing a range here. All right, I would really like to poke up a little bit further. It doesn't look like it's going to give it. I'd like to poke up here to sell. Why? Because then I have more room to cover some here and then hold runners for lower. I'm all about having good RR. The higher up we go, the better RR I'm going to have. Very much like yesterday. If they break lower, then we're going to have to consider, all right, if we're going to look for more shorts, if they're not going to pop up, then we can consider that move. Otherwise, I'd like to see this move and then be sold into. It's a much better move that in terms of RR. And it means we can test these buyers up here who are more likely to get out break even. Low-hanging fruit's over. Yeah, it is. The low-hanging fruit trade was here to here. All right, and the expansion was to here. We don't expect lower prices today on anything else other than the current options market thinks that we can get down to 105. Now, there is a new put wall. P2's just been put in down there. Let me refresh this because they've changed this. There should be a new put wall at 105. There it is. All right, so they think that's possible today now. They've decided that's possible. So they've put a new wall in. They keep selling every pop here. Remember, buyers are a little bit caught in 92s. You gotta come higher for me to be interested in doing anything on a Friday. Yes, 680 is absolutely possible. That's the equivalent of this. Your Q680, it's the same as the 100 move. It's exactly what it is. It's a cool song, I know. Such a good song, man. I might release that one. Might release it. Lots of liquidity to clear out here if they can move higher. Still waiting. For me, I'm waiting for a retest of the LVN and the daily kind of levels. Somewhere around here. All the way up to here is possible, but this is previous week, previous day, VWAP. Now, if they get through that, they will drive the right way up to value. And I will say if they reclaim value, I'm not interested in any shorts. So I'm going to look for exhaustion up here. I'm going to look for buyers to get overly aggressive, and I'm going to look for passive sellers to be on the tape. And if I see that, I will start to think about a short on the turn. Hopefully it doesn't do what it does here and just turn and do 100 points instantly. And we're starting to get into these key levels. ES coming to VWAP and New York Open and PDC. Semis finding a bid. Mag not really finding a bid. All right, so semis, look at the drive. Mag not really going anywhere. It's trying. All right, so we've got to be careful into this shelf basically on semis is what we're watching. Here it comes. All right, let's see now if buyers get caught. Now, if they don't get caught and they keep pushing, we don't short it. It's as simple as that. So 50 lot here. Just come in on the tape buyer at 23s. They can hold the bid here at 94s if they want for a move higher. And there's still liquidity up at 50s to fill. So let's see here. We're back inside of previous week now. We're still outside of previous day. If we go back inside of previous day and hold, like I said, buyers, if I was a buyer here, I'd be wanting to hold the bid at 93s, which they've just done. They just filled the imbalance and they're looking for that lift up right now. What level do we change our short bias? I'd say certainly a reclaim of this. If they start to hold above these, all right, we're going to test this. Above that, then they're going to go back inside of value. All right, and remember, short now, we've hit low-hanging fruit. So even if we take a short now, we have to respect each level on the way down. We don't know if it's going to print low. We've hit our expected move for the day. All right, but above here, no more shorts, that's for sure. If we get inside of value, no more shorts. We're already at a point where we're going to start to get, well, we're doing it right now, trying to get back inside of yesterday's daily bar. Wiggle on the tape here, big wiggle on the tape here. ES now back through its VWAP and New York Open and trying to hold a print. QQQ rejecting PDL. Mag is at VWAP rejecting it so far. Semis are in no man's land. They're coming up to 145s. Big buyer coming in here again at 15. So this looks like it might want one more push at the moment. Trying to just be patient. The longer we're here, the worse it's going to be because we're going to fill a big high volume node and then we're going to have to respect another level. ES looks very strong. Let's have a look at the breadth right now. All right, so Apple strong. Look at this: healthcare, energy, medical services, real estate, industrials, finance. Green, 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 green. Where's the weakness? Oh, there it is: semiconductors. All right, so understand what you're trading in the sectors. Looks like we're failing 420. Doesn't look like that to me. Looks like we're stuttering there. I don't think there's anything near a fail. Have we moved away from 420? Have we moved under it? Have we sold under it? Have we rejected it? I don't think we have. I think you're saying stuff that isn't actually happening. You're convincing yourself of something that hasn't actually happened. You're long from 366, the top of this shelf. That's nice. I would just pay yourself a good chunk here, right? Because you're into previous day low, previous week low, and VWAP. If you get through here, your next target, right, you'd be watching the top, I'd say like 50s and then 80s. Right, delta divergences at these highs. It's definitely passive selling up there. They're still trying to lift higher at the moment. MAG just rejected VWAP. So MAG is stuck right now between VWAP and PDC. So if I take you over to the MAGs, wrong chart. If I take you over to the MAGs here, you can see the dance we're doing. There's VWAP, there's PDC. We're just stuck. Right, we're absolutely stuck. Relative strength in Apple. Why? Because it doesn't have the capex spend the others do. Gotta be careful here. I'm interested in this. Right, this is the area buyers want to hold these 90s. If pops now start to fail on this drive back up towards 15s, I'll get short. Put a tiny piece on there. Got a starter on. Bad fill there at 403s. I want to watch 15s here. If we reclaim 22s, I'm out. It's just a tiny, tiny starter. I said buyers can hold this pivot if they want to, and they can increase pressure. ES is a good hold. Mag's holding PDC, doesn't want to let go of PDC. All right, out of that starter, and we just wait now to see what next. I wonder if we're going to retest value here, honestly. Who's above these guys? 50. There's guys looking to get filled at 50, 55, 60, 65. 70 thins out a bit. 75 is a bit bigger. Where are you? Okay, up there. That's where you're looking to get filled. Okie doke. And just wait and see if they come up there. And if they reclaim, then it's no more shorts for the day. ES looks like it's breaking out high day. Yeah, it is. ES is breaking out high day. Okay, MAG just soaked PDC and gone straight back to VWAP again. VIX starting to get crushed. New lower day on VIX. Semis can't get through the 145. So we have relative weakness in the Qs, but if we start to reclaim yesterday's value, it will be no more shorts for me. I will just leave alone. Remember, low-hanging fruit is gone for the day. Did I get stopped out? Yeah. Did you hear what I said? Okay, got a starter on at 403. If we reclaim 15s, I'm done with it. That would be that. Like a 12-point stop. Mags cannot move higher here. This is a tricky and interesting area here. And ES is right to its neutral gamma, 55. I think they might try and sell this back down. Sellers walking down here suddenly to try and get filled. They're not very happy they didn't get filled higher. Okay, I'm going to have another look at this here. See if we can get a better fill this time. That last fill was fucking awful. And we will need to respect these levels on the way down. Yep, here they come. Need a lift up here and then a sell. Same as before, really. 400 to 15s, really. They're just walking this down right now. They are very upset, these sellers. They're walking and walking and walking, prime pressure all the way down to value area low now. It's funny because the auction at the high didn't look great either. Semi's coming back down potentially for that 140 check. So 145 rejection, like we talked about, 140 check. It's all about this right now. Semis, mag. If these sell, we go risk off. If these sell with this, these are coming for 140 check down here. That's 145 zone. Didn't quite get to this pivot. That's why the sellers got annoyed and they started chasing. They didn't get to their target. Semis 140 here. If they don't bid this on semis, it could get very painful for this market. Oh my God. This is the story of my week. It's like starter here, cut respecting, poke over, come back down, wait for a refill, and never get it. They're just walking down now, these sellers. They're getting very, very upset. They're looking for low of day here. All right, mag breaking down now. New low of day on the mag. Semis into 140 check. If you were short, you should have covered some there at 60s, and then you're looking to see if we break the lows. The Alex trade, yeah, another Alex trade. I mean, again, a bit like yesterday. The stop out was good. It was for good reason. It was at the right level. It's the turns. It's a bit like this one. Was it here? I was looking for this pop, and then it was just like I had to join a bit later for the walk. I think there's one earlier as well. Maybe within this one. Pops are failing now. And there's liquidity all the way down to these lows. There's 273 lot 287. So let's see here. All right, 140 here on the Soxal. Big level. These put walls are big levels here, folks. Make sure you've trimmed your position. If we get under that, we can look for the next move down, and we can also think about it being measured. And we start to get us towards the targets. $87s being bid here. So 300 and 287s is where the buyers are. You want to cover some into this. Here's the 300, big seller here. You want to cover some right now and then see if you can fill 287 and drift under it. Where are the pops? Well, they're not really there. They're very small. We can see them on a tick chart. They're not there because if I take you to Bookmap, they walked it down. This is what you want to see when you're looking for selling. Right, once we failed to fill these guys up here, you see this liquidity up here? They were looking for this drive up to this 1,000 lot. Once they couldn't get that, look what happened. They moved lower and 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 lower. That's what we call walking down. It's what you want to see when you're short. You want to see the pressure. Someone just go, no, out. Yeah, and we lock in at key levels as always. Alex just got caught teaching, didn't he, when he could have had a fill? Yes, he did. The 53 lot buyer just got caught there again into 40s. All right, no more teaching for a little bit. Let's see if we can get another trade here. I would like another trade. 4K passed on the 100K accounts. Thanks, Alex. Legend, you're welcome. Nice little trade there. I mean, it's quite a big trade. These are quite big trades. They might look little because they're happening fast, but if you took the short back under here where I first got in, right, that's another 100 points. All right, that's a pretty good trade. I think it's more than you're going to get on most YouTubes. I got 5 points. Oh my God, I made $1 million with this massive 5-point trade on ES. That's how we do. Oh, his best one was yesterday. I opened up my computer. I saw that there was a war going on. It hit short. I made 25. Shut the fuck up, you clown. Fucking clown. Absolute clown. I woke up, I sucked on my mum's titty and said, Mom, can you pay my rent? That's what happened. Oh my God. All right, mag rebuilding. It is just completely stuck here. I'm going to take you to a 5 minutes so you can see what's going on. All right. Hello. All right. They don't want to break lower. The buyers are absorbing PDC. Sellers are just selling VWAP. All right. That's your mag. Your XL. They're trying to hold this put level. All right. So we came back up to the potential neutral ground. We failed. All right. They've held put again. They might come back up here again. If they get through this, they're going to go 145, 150. Until then, pressure still remains. VWAP sloping down, EMA sloping down, but we hit low-hanging fruits. So the hardest thing right now is that the low-hanging fruits have been taken. Well, the big question we're asking ourselves is expansion to 100 possible today? Okay, there's 1,000 lot up here. Range being developed now. All right, ES back towards 55s. Range consistently developed. Mag about to break out of VWAP, or it has broken out. Let's see if it can hold its bid. I am not against a long if we reclaim all of this. All right, if we're going to put in a double bottom and that's the measured move, I'm going to wait. But if we can get above this W and hold, I'm not against looking for this, especially inside of here. All right, counter trend. But if they fail to break lower and they've expanded daily and weekly and they held and we're willing to hold, I'm not against taking that long there. It will have to prove to me. I'm not taking it beforehand. Just too much danger of becoming liquidity to move lower. But if they can pivot and hold, I'll consider it. You're long from 325, just the reclaim of this little low volume node. It's good. It's good. You better be paying yourself into the block though. We've got basically a B, right? We've got a B-shaped profile. So this is your rotational zone. This is a bearish profile. All right, so pressure is down in this, but if we get over the D of the B, then you can see upside lifts, right? So there's your profile here. Look. Right, so if you're long from the bottom, you've got to pay yourself into that move, right? Yeah, we are hard into the. We're actually below the daily Bollinger Band, and we're actually into value area high from the current year. Right. Oh no, we're not. We've moved value higher. Okay, well the old value. So we're into LVNs here. I think this is coming. I think it's a matter of time. And I want to see a flash crash. I want to see it happen quick. I don't want to see it walk. What I don't want is like right? Because I want to use it as a buying opportunity. So if we can do a flash crash into this, right, even come deeper, I want to buy that for the rotation back up. I think it's a matter of time. Are we down off these highs now? Still only 8%. This would be a 12 to 13% pullback. It's still very healthy. I would really like this. This becomes buying opportunity. And the lower, the better. Honestly, if they want to come down here and be crazy with it, I'm all fucking ears for it. I'm here for it. Where we have to be careful, right, is if they do this and fail that. That then gets dangerous, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be like that. That's what it does every other time. Same as this. Same as this. Right. That's what I'm looking for swings. Not today, obviously. In case you're wondering, going, it won't go there today. No, I know it won't go there today. I mean, it could. World War starts, it could. No, I don't think anyone asked. I didn't look, but I'm just saying in case anyone's just joining thinking that's where it's going. I'm not thinking right now. All right, MAG breaking through VWAP here, starting to hold the bid and curl. Potential to go back up to New York Open here. Semi is still struggling. They're still just hanging around the lows. We're still in a range here. There's no. I'm not going to be a buyer. You guys can do what you want. If you want to play that range, that's fine. I'm not going to be a buyer unless I see a hold above this. And really, what I want to see is that. Right? Otherwise, it's liquidity being built out, which can be used to go lower in my mind. So I avoid longs in ranges. I will take them if there's a clear hold above, not until that point. All right, just came into that 1,000 lot and didn't fill him. He's still there at 412s, 412.5s. So previous week low is still rejecting. So weekly sellers are still present in this market for the indexes. MAG back below VWAP now. Yeah, the 1,000 lots at 412, like I keep saying, that's where he is. Seen a lot of YouTube videos about a crash. Well, a 12% pullback is not a crash, mate. If people are calling for a crash, it's a bit different. But like, it doesn't matter like what you're saying. What you have to understand is the macro environment. Why have we been short this week? Right? Market doesn't move on retail. It doesn't matter like who's done a video, who hasn't. This is what's dangerous if this keeps breaking out. If this comes back in, it's okay. But if this keeps breaking out, multi-year highs, right? Just let that sink in. Multi-year highs, right? This has stayed above 5% for the highest time since 2008. We all know what happened in 2008. All right. This is a problem, right? This needs to come down here so that borrowing's cheap. Why is that especially important right now? Well, the MAG are borrowing a huge amount to spend in these, right? The reason these are up so big are because of the MAG spend, right? So the contracts, right, that they keep saying, right? The reason this is up so big, especially this year, so big, you're talking about a ridiculous amount here. This is equally weighted, right? This isn't, we're up 100 over 100%. We did that in what? 84 days in a quarter. We did 100% in a quarter. Now, if the borrowing starts to become more expensive because yields continue to break out, right, we're going to get stagflation. And if you also have, and there you go, there's the liquidity to build out to sell. And if we also then have an issue with oil continuing to push, you get inflationary pressure. Where's the money coming from? Who can afford it? Right? The rates go up. Everything becomes a problem all of a sudden. So I'm not saying you're an arsehole. Who said you're an arsehole? No one said you're an arsehole. I'm just saying, don't worry. Lots of retail will say it's a crash without understanding what's available. I'm not even saying it's a crash. I'm saying it's a pullback. Right? I'm saying there's a potential for a pullback. Doesn't have to happen. If we reclaim range, fine, we're going upside. But there is potential for a pullback based on the macro environment. Right? You've just seen Intel post massive, massive earnings. Are we up? No. What about the day before? Right, there's the Intel earnings. Oh my God. About the day before. Massive earnings. Who was it the day before? I forget who it was. Oh, the Google spend in CapEx, right? Causes the squeeze in semi. So Google say we're going to spend 208 billion and that's not going to slow down anytime soon, to quote them. There's the Google spend. What happened, right? This is exhaustion. No one wants to bid this anymore because everyone who's smart understands it's up a lot. It's up a lot and it's up very quickly a lot, right? And that's a problem for the market because what's held the market up this year? Has it been this? Hell no. All right. This is worth 60% of the market. Is this holding the market up? I don't think so. All right. War's over. No, it's fucking not. It's your Liberation Day or whatever he called it. This is not. We're not at all-time highs in the market. This was the relief. This relief, right, came when Meta said we're going to reduce our CapEx spend. And then Google went, we're going to increase it. And now they're waiting for Microsoft to say we're going to increase it. Okay? You have to understand macro environment for when we're talking about what's potentially going to happen in bigger picture. Right? If you're just looking at a candle, it's not telling the story. It is not telling the story. All right, semis back to low of day here. Mag holding PDC still. We are still in the D of the B. All right, we're in the D of the B. The B-shaped profile, we're in the rotational zone of it. This can still be a liquidity break build out to move lower because the main trend is lower. We're not really bullish on this unless it holds above this. This is why I'm definitely not a buyer in this market right now. Some of you are buying the lows because you're range traders. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with being a range trader. It's just not what I like to do. Do I use TPO? Not really. Not really. I can see how long time spent there. I prefer volume. There is a video on it if you want to learn how to use it. There's a free video on my YouTube, but I don't really use it. I just use volume profile. I don't feel the need. You know, when you see single prints, I can pretty much see where those single prints are without having to have a look on a TPO. All right, back down towards low of day. New lows here in the semiconductors. Pressure continuing in this market. VIX finding a bid. And if the mag start losing PDC, you're going to see a wash. And remember, your targets, if you're taking shorts at the highs, are down here. Now, if we start to build out down here, I will consider a short. All right, if we start to break and build out down here, I will consider that move. Until that point, I won't consider anything because we're still in a range. Semi is trying to bid up to the previous low of day. for a retest, basically the 140 retest. And if they sell 140s and flip this, it will be a problem for the market, I would say. If they get through the 140s, could be a look below and fail, and a squeeze back upside to the top side of the range again. And this is why I don't trade ranges. I cannot stand them. This test here is important. Into POC here, and it's failing to get through it at the moment. It's the 140 test on semis, and guess what? MAG are still stuck between VWAP and PDC. Okay, 140's just got sold into on that first attempt on semis. It's still holding around there, but it just got sold into first attempt. All right, more selling there on semis, right? This is perking my interest if we are going to move lower. I would want to see MAG roll over here, not just go sideways. There's the MAG, there's the semis, there's the retest. I want to see this roll over with this, and then I'm interested. Still seeing absorption down there into 300 at the moment. All right, semi's weaker. Clear 140 rejection there. I think we're going to move lower here. This can be the liquidity build. I'm just going to have to be patient. I don't want to get caught in this move. So I've got to see it come under this and one of these. And I'm going to need alignment if I'm going to trade that. MAG back to PDC. Let's see if they actually get a wash here. ES rejecting VWAP. Its VWAPs are pretty flat here. Starting to perk my interest now. Seller coming down, walking down now. What's this shelf? Yeah, that's where he is. 37s and 35s. More selling here. Is there a little shuffle up just to get a starter on here, I wonder? All right, a little piece on there. First time. Just into 20. There we go. Let's see if we get a breakdown. If we get a breakdown, I'll add into it. I've just got a starter. Still absorbing 300s here. The sellers are at 37s. I'm waiting to see if this one seller pulled. I'm waiting to see if the other one wants to walk down. Try and let this work, and then I can add back in if we break. Semis testing lower day. It's a good 140 rejection, like I talked about on semis. MAG into PDC. And if they break PDC and IB low, we're going to get going. So that's what I'm looking for. At the moment, they are holding on for dear life down here. They know this is a very important level. I will start adding if we break below and stay heavy. Starting to look better. We need a clean break and stay heavy. There's still a 300 lot buyer down at 87. Here we go. Here's the break. Okay, now let's see if we can stay heavy. Big selling coming in here. It's already like 40 points, 50 points since the starter. I'm going to see if I can add in here. Peeled a little bit off the starter off, and I want to see if I can add on where these sellers came in 90 and 300s. Nice. Good alignment here. Good alignment here. I don't understand, guys. When I look up here and you say, am I in? And I'm like, I've got a starter on at 20s. What are you listening to? I don't understand. Like, what are you listening to? Crazy. I've told you everything that I'm doing, like everything that I want before it even happens. I don't get it. I actually don't get it. All right. So we want 90s to stay heavy because we had a big 100 lot start joining there. Be nice if ES breaks, if Mags break here. They're trying to hold, they're reclaiming IB, they're coming back to PDC. Now I want PDC to reject, and I will not hold this above initial balance. Auction at the low can be repaired. We might need to test IB and maybe push first, but we'll see. Watching this carefully. I want an initial balance rejection here, which is what we've just had. That purple line on the chart is good. Now, I think we're getting new low because we need to repair that low. It's about to come now. And then we'll see if we can fill 250, 225. Here it comes. Come on, repair it. There's the repair. And we'll see if we can get fill now, 250, 225. We are getting pretty washy here. I want to be careful. We don't want to add any more late now. We've had the main move positioned against IB, and we'll see. So ES looks like it wants to break for new lows, and it's just found a bid back to ES. Why do I keep saying ES? Mags. Still holding IB, still look good for now. If we can't make a new low here, I'm going to reduce size though. That seller is at 90s. So you've got to be careful. That's where he's sold aggressively at 90s. And then above him is 300s. They're selling 337s, 350s. I don't like that they're up there. I don't like that they haven't walked lower. That is a problem. They're asking to get filled at VPOC at the moment, which is not what we want. We don't really want to come all the way back up here when we've got an LVN here to protect. So far, so good for this. So we'll see, folks. So far, so good. I really don't want them to come up here. So my stop, maybe I'll give it a little bit more room to 306s. Here we go. So we're coming for these 250s now. Mag's still holding on. VIX is looking good. Semis are getting crushed. So that retest worked. That's what we talked about on here. Semis getting crushed. Mag's walking down. IGV walking down. But we want a new low here on Mag, which it's trying to do at the moment. Would I consider a trade back to IB? What do you mean? A long from here back to IB? What's the point? Why would you try and do that when we've just broken out of everything? Why would you try and get long back to IB? Do you mean that? No, never in a million years would I trade that. Downside pressure, breaking out. There's no trade there. No. If you reclaim this, all right, and start to push, yes, you can consider a failed break through the LVN, through the IB, reclaim. You can consider that. You don't get long underneath it. Too risky. Let the whales do that work. After a reclaim, IB to view up late. Yeah, that's a different trade, not back to IB. The Tyson trade, yeah. If you reclaim this and hold, yes, that's a legit setup, absolutely. But just remember, we've been down here since 10. Is that right? So you just spent like 30, 40 minutes. Who's caught? Right, buyers are under pressure. So it has to be a strong reclaim and hold, because at the moment, that shelf can be used to go lower. So don't be early to it. Let it prove itself to you if you're going to look for that trade. I'm now out of the runners. No, you're all good. You're all good. I'm just trying to stop you. Like, I thought you were going to try and take that long back to there. It's like, it's not a setup. I don't know what setup that is, but you're in downside pressure. But best thing to do is just always think, who's stuck in the market? All right, that's all you need to think. All right, in this session, who's stuck? Buyers here. Okay. From overnight session, who's stuck? Where's overnight? right? Buyers. Anyone who bought that is stuck. Yeah. From yesterday, who's stuck? Okay. Anyone who bought that yesterday, right? From last week, who's stuck? Right. They're all stuck above here. So what's the easiest move? It's down, isn't it? So the last thing we want to do is pick a bottom trying to just get back to there. That's the worst trade in the book. That is not a trade, right? But if we reclaim, there's a legit trade. Of course, it's just taking my stop. What did I say? I should probably move my stop up for that shelf. You're a fucking idiot, Alex. You're an absolute clown. You're an absolute clown, Alex. You even said it out loud and you didn't do it. Absolute clown. What a twat. What a twat. Just cost myself 50 points there. What a prick. I know, I said it out loud, Willie. I know. What an idiot. What an absolute idiot. Be nice to myself. Pass a grenade. I'm all right, guys. I'm nice and green. It doesn't at this point doesn't matter, but that's just lack of attention. That's what happens when I'm trying to trade and teach and read and show you what to do and talk to my wife, and it costs me fucking loads of money. All right, what you want to watch is this put level here. Mag trying to reclaim PDC. So if you get alignment here, remember the main move is lower, but Mag, this level here is key, right? As your previous day close, same as what we've just had. Trapped in a range, shelf break, all right? They should sell this. If they don't sell this, and you see this, relief. All right, same with semis. You're going to need, if you're adamant, this is just for the people who are looking long. Like I'm saying, I personally don't really like the long. Semis are weak. But if you see this, maybe there's that move. But at the moment, it's sell everything, and it's been that way for a couple days. Well, basically the whole week. Monday, Tuesday was the relief to sell into, like we talked about. What were our targets for lows this week in the newsletter? Let me have a look. Let's have a look. $28 sevens, 28,585, 28,408, 28,335, 335 right there. That's now point of control. Hilarious. 28,225, 28,2, so we're almost at 225, and 28,100, and then 27,930. So 225 and 100 is what I thought. 100's down there. It's a pretty good guess if they do that later. Pretty good guess. I'm quite good at guessing at the moment. I keep shaking my magic 8 ball and it keeps just showing up pretty well for me. Alex is my tick chart 500. I don't use a tick. The only thing I have tick on is Bookmap, mate. Everything else is a time chart. Everything else is a time chart. Why always low volume nodes protected? Why are they often protected? Okay, you need to think about why they happen. Brandon, another Apex payout, 11K this month. Best month so far, 4 months into trading. Thank you, sir. Brandon. Great work, man. That's good money, my friend. Congratulations. I absolutely love to hear that. Love to hear that. Okay, here's the bid. You're coming back to POC. Now, the fight now is on the reclaim. All right, so you want to flip this now and hold it. And hopefully they don't do this arsehole move that they keep doing when they go really quick. Hopefully they pull back and hold that for that drive higher. Why are LVNs protected? Think about what an LVN is. All right, it's an area where we trade through fast, which means there's no acceptance of price there. All right, so the reason that created an LVN is because buyers put their stops, buyers put their stops, buyers put their stops. Those buyers got stopped out, they become short, they become sellers. Short sellers join in and we get a wash, all right? And then we poke and we fail because any short seller who didn't get filled or any buyer who didn't get out is going to get out and get out and get out. And now we go above it. Ideally, this is what's annoying about this market at the moment. It keeps doing these huge moves without coming back. You need to come back down here somewhere, mate. You've got to come back down to earth here for us if we're going to look for the mean reversion long to VWAP. Because we're in a thick node here. We don't want to trade this. We want to trade down here if possible for the upside relief. We're going to look for that. So when we go sideways, it'll be a high volume node. That means price, buyers and sellers accept price there. When we move fast, it's a low volume node. It means there's no acceptance of price by buyers and sellers. It is a one-way street. We're starting to see absorption again from buyers. Sellers starting to get caught here. I'm waiting for this to come and revisit this LVN to see if I can get involved for the longs. So if it comes down and absorbs, I will wait to see or try and get involved. Semis are still rejecting 140, by the way. We need to be very careful. If the 140 starts to bid, which they're trying to do now, it's going to have better sentiment for upside. If MAG, reclaim PDC, has gone straight back to VWAP. This might be it. It might just start going here without me. I'm trying to wait to see if we can get a test somewhere down here. We're holding POC now, so it's possible that they just lift off POC. But I'm going to try and see if we can get a little wash for me to buy. Yeah, I mean, the huge buyers basically on that turn came in. Oh, which one is it? This one came in down here. All right, here we go. I'm watching this now as we come in. Do they absorb the tape here, or does the selling continue under IB? It's the first sign of absorption at 12s. So they're trying. So this LVN, they're trying to protect this LVN here. So where we're starting to try and buy here. Now the sellers last came in at 46s. So if we get over 46s and 53s, then we're going to make a new high in this leg. See how you have to just wait for it to come in? That's all you got to do. You just had to wait for it to come in. It's giving you a nice trade here. So you can peel some off here straight away into where these sellers were. And then we'll look for upside relief above this for VWAP and the LVN above. How simple was that? Wait for it to come down into the LVN. We got it. It goes. Put wall flipped. Here we go. New high coming here. Beautiful. All right, we've got an imbalance above to fill into 80s, and then we can try and get all the way up to previous week low and all the top side. But you want to be paying yourself on the relief on the way up. There is no guarantee that this moves all the way up, all right? So it's no guarantee. This is our target. We are happy to sit on this as long as it protects this, all right? Protects this, we sit in that long that we just bought, all right? I've trimmed some here. If it comes under this, it can be a two-leg, and we can continue going lower, all right? Because main trend, remember, is lower, but we're trying to play this range now for this move here. And my fill, by the way, is at 26. It's not the best fill on that turnaround. I'm coming back to it now. I've paid some in the top side. I'll try and give it a little bit of wiggle room. So MAG came up to VWAP, got rejected there. Semis are back through, or they're back at 140. That's the big level. If they can push and base over 140, we're going to get more upside here. Still holding this, still looking for upside. And like I said, it's protecting this, we're looking for upside. See how much easier it is than gambling down here to wait for that to come in. It's a much easier trade because you've got set risk, you've got volume to use, we've got targets. It's so much easier, isn't it? Here we go, folks. Beautiful. Right, coming into this old sell side imbalance at 80s. And if we break that, we're going to look for previous week lows. So that's the first tap into 80s, as you can see, sell side imbalance. And we can peel some off here into the whole number. And if we get very lucky, we're going to get up to 440 and 490s for runners. Now, technically speaking, you'd want all pullbacks to 55 to hold now, because if they don't hold that, they can repair right back down to 24. So we'd rather we base above the 55s now and keep squeezing. And I'll just move your stop up and let it go. It's been quite a nice day here. Pretty nice day here if you were patient. There's the move back towards 55s. Good absorption there again. It's great. We want upside lift now. All right, semis through the 140. Fantastic. We want a 5-minute bar to close above the 140s there on semis. Here we go. 55s held, so that pullback held above 55s. This is really good. These are your targets here. All right, don't be a dick for a tick. You must be paying yourself some. You must. Here we go. Into previous week low. Thanks very much. Thanks for playing the game. Beautiful. All right, runners only now, and we'll just see how high we can get. So the only thing left now is basically 440 and 485. Beyond that, I don't think we get beyond that. Order flow, baby. Nice and easy. Push, 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 push. Guess what the alignment looks like? Oh my God, banger. All right, so we were short for this. Long for this, all right? Pew, 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 pew. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so almost at previous day low. We expect this node up here to be a little bit of a problem, right? This guy here, right? This is going to be a problem, right? So we're down to barely anything left. If we get acceptance, right, if we get acceptance back inside of yesterday's value, it's amazing. But I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting some form of rejection up here. Thank you for your valuable advice, Alex. I managed to secure another $600 on an eval today, only trading 1 micro on my way to my first payout and calling out a day. Hey, nice work, my friend. Great work. You're a great trader. Very good analysis. You're welcome, man. Beauty, help me cut my runner that I was short. Quite in the money still. I didn't notice the turning to short to long-term environment. Good S, man. Yeah, you're welcome. Past my buffer today. First payout coming. Hey, I love to hear it. All right, previous day low check here, folks. This green line on the screen. Now, we expect to get stuck in this red box. If we don't get stuck in this red box, we're going to get a retest of value and VWAP, which would be amazing. If we can get all the way up here, this is going to be quite the trade, isn't it? All right. Where do I get filled? 20s. This is going to be quite the trade. If we can get up here, that's a 166 pointer. Live on stream for free. But you've definitely locked in 100 and something already. All right, 100 plus already. We get up here, we're lucky. We're very, very lucky. So I had to join late today because wifey distracted me in here. So we had to join in here. Down to put wall. And then we got a second attempt. A shelf break. And that went long. Thank you again, Alex. Your great teaching and help as every day. Have a good lunch from me. All the best, Arnie. Man, that's so kind. Thank you. Thank you, Arnie. Appreciate it. We'll do some giveaways today. Don't know how many. I haven't even checked the stream. I'm an awful influencer. I never push anything. Prop firms probably get quite annoyed with me. Let's see how many of you are in here. All right, almost 2,000 of you in here. All right, so here's the deal. 1,000 likes, we do a free introduction to trading giveaway, the 2-hour course. 1,200 likes, we do an Apex giveaway. 1,400 likes, we will do a Lucid giveaway. Super simple. There's enough of you in here to do it. Smash the thumbs up button underneath and we'll do some giveaways, folks. All right. Don't forget, if you want to support the stream, I'm here for free. If you want to support me doing this for free, you can use code FZT at all your favorite prop firms. All the prop firms are underneath. Other than Take Profit Trader, you don't have to use code FlowZone. But FZT for all the others, that allows me to do this for free on here. And if you want to learn more, how I trade, join the Discord, understand the weekly models and what I'm looking at and all the courses are on my website, flowzonetrader.com. VIX getting crushed, right? VIX coming into a put wall here at 18, so I'm expecting us to get stuck here. This is it. This was the top side of the move here. Like I said, I expect us to get stuck up here. If we start failing under previous day low here, I'm going to just take the runner off. I'm very close to taking him off because there's a buyer here. Yeah, I'm out. That's enough for me, right? Because we're coming into put wall on the VIX. I can always rebid on this, but for me, I'm done with that. I tried to let it go as far as I could. Only had this one left to get up there. It's a really nice trade. So the best fill was here. So I got 142 points out of it, best fill. Well, we can still pull back now. Pull this in. We can still pull back now and hold this, but I want to see a build out if we're going to do that. I will consider it. But I've just got my eye on VIX here. And I've got my eye on the Soxal. All right, so MAG just ripped. It went from IB to IB like that. And Soxal's going to pull back to hold 140, hopefully. And then maybe we can rebid. So if I show you what I'm looking at. MAGs did a beautiful move. All right, compression, higher low, held PDC, VWAP. This can pull back into midpoint. All right, so we're aware of that. It's hit its key target. VIX has come into a put wall. All right, so we expect a bounce. There you go. Starting to see a bit of relief, all right, which can put a bit of downside pressure on the market. And the Soxal is likely to pull back to 140 after the breakout, right? VWAP probably going to pull back to 140 and make its mind up whether it has this today or more downside pressure. All right, so that just gives me confidence. Get out the trade and wait for the next setup now. For me, for how I trade. You guys can do what you want, but that's how I trade. I'll look to see if there's a new re-entry pattern. Alex, when do you think someone's ready for prop firm trial? I've been trading my own capital and then demo, and I see huge improvement every week. Man, just get in. Just get into the prop firms now, because get off your own capital for sure, and then get into small amount of capital in with prop firms so that your risk is limited, but you have some exposure. So you have the emotional connection to the trade, but you have limited downside risk. Sim's good for back testing and forward testing strategies, but your brain's always going to know that you've got no risk on, right? The best improvement in my trading has been taking an abundance mindset. If I miss the setup, I just wait knowing there will be more. No FOMO. That's it. There's always another trade. How many times do you see me say, like, I'll stop out, can always get back in. I'll stop out, always get back in. Credit to Nate at Underground. What's it called? I can't think. I can't think what they're called. I just got Underground in my head. Jesus, my brain can't work. Investors Underground, right? That came from him. That came from years of him being like, you can get out, you can always get back in. Get out, you can always get back in. And that has lived with me from my small cap days. Alex having a brain fart on stream. Definitely. Well, he's 40. He's gone. This year has been terrible. Fantastic trading year. I'm not talking about trading. Trading's been the best year ever, but off the chart, it's been a terrible year. So it's taken up a huge amount of space in my brain, like stress brain, without a doubt. And then it's also early. Remember, it's only 8 o'clock. I haven't even eaten yet. And this is my second day of being, I decided yesterday I'm going caffeine and sugar free. So yesterday was first day without coffee, caffeine, sugar, and carb free. Well, let's say carbs, like complex carbs. So my brain's just struggling a bit today. I had a worse headache yesterday from having coffee withdrawals. Is H1 at a sell point? Well, yes, potentially yes. That's why we were trimming up here, right? Value. So if we think about where we broke down, right, where we broke down, value, right? This is the counter trend long. If we reject here, the question is, are they willing to try and get into this, or do we just roll over again? That's why we're waiting to see now. I'm already out. Remember, I got out here, right? We were long. My best fill was this. I'm out here on the runner. Now I'm waiting. Waiting. Oh, I should do it here. We were long. My best fill was here. I got out here. Now I'm waiting because I can see the rejection. I could just talked about showing you everything else. How long we got left? 50 minutes or so. Plenty of time. Right, and the last lot of sellers that got very aggressive, into POC really, back into 50s. Right, there was very aggressive selling. I'll grab one of these. Here, it's a big cluster there. So if we protect that, they will try and rebid. Under that, we see weakness again. ES looks really good. VIX potentially rejecting its pivot at 830-ish, so 1830, so it can come for a retest. MAG's finding a bid again, so it's putting in a higher low. It's going to come and test the New York Open here on the MAG. So this might be the curl and go. I'm just waiting here to see how they operate this. I still think I want to see a test down towards 50s if possible. What's the best prop firm for a beginner? All right, this is how I think about it in my head. It's horses for courses. It's whatever works for you. This is how I think about it. If you are brand new to trading, or you are brand new to trading futures, and you need to learn futures, Apex is the best prop firm for you. Why? Because it's the least upfront expense, because you are likely to blow up many times when you first start learning. You've got to learn all the technicals, you've got to learn the system, you've got to learn the software, you've got to learn the tick rate, you've got to learn everything. So for $19 or whatever it is, you can get some skin in the game and learn. All right. Apex is also good for traders who are consistent and want to take regular payouts with up to 20 accounts, right? So that's also where they have an edge. If you want to be a trader, if you've already got experience as a trader and you want to either take daily payouts, okay, or you want to scale, right, into your winners more and let them run without having consistency rules, then you want to be looking at the flex plans with Lucid, FundedNext, Tradeify. If you want to take daily payouts and you're willing to like push and wait to get past a trading drawdown, but take daily payouts with no consistency rules, you want to look at Take Profit Trader. That's how I phrase it in my head. They're all good. They all have an edge for something. It's just, I'd say Lucid, FundedNext, and Tradeify are all fairly similar in their plans. My favorite there is Lucid, personally. Those all work for UK, so there's no difference for where you are. Let's look at the chart. Yes, sorry, we're coming into that 50 level. Yeah, I got distracted there, didn't I? Yes, this is the zone where I'm interested. Now, let's see. Let me zoom in here. What's going on? That was it, wasn't it? We just came right into it. Oh, there's the reaction. For fuck's sake. Did any of you get it? I told you what to do. Oh my god, did any of you get it? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You got it. Nice, man. I got so distracted by talking about fucking prop firms. There's your target, all right? You just tap the target, blue line, all right? So 50, look where they were stuck. What did we say? We're going to bid 50, and we're going to try and get to this blue line, all right? There's your target. It just gave you that in probably under a minute. You just got 131 points. Yes, you had it live on stream. There you go. Alex got distracted. One of you said, Alex, look at the chart. Before I could even get a limit out, it was gone. Oh, it's so funny. So funny. That might be my cue to be done, you know. That was the last good buy opportunity we're going to have unless we get above value now. Why was there a bid there? I just explained it before it even happened. All right, chat, tell the person who's asking in a nice way, because they're just asking. What do we have here, and why did we want to bid here? What are the yellow bubbles I put on representing, and why did we want to bid there? No, it's not news. It's not news. That's not why we moved. We moved. They probably did the news on purpose at that time. We moved there because these guys are massively stuck. Look. Right, can you see this drive up? This is a 5-minute bar that we had at 10:55. Okay, in here, 100 lot, 227 lot. There's another 100 lot under here that you can't see, and an 88 lot. All right, so it's VPOC, and it's all sellers. Now, if you're a seller there, what happens when you get squeezed out? You probably cover most, but you'll be surprised how many that don't. So when we come back in and you get the chance to get break even, what do you think you do? You get out. What does that mean? You buy. All right. If news came in as well, whatever. But that's the level. It's screaming at you, that level. It's screaming, hey, if we hold this, it's a buy, back to value. Look at that. Buy, back to value. It was screaming at you from a technical point of view. Sellers trapped, exactly. Sellers were trapped down there. The opposite, you know, if you traded with Mr. Perm with the unicorn fucking t-shirt on, there's sellers in here, it's going to go down. No, it's not, mate. It does the opposite of how you read Footprint and Bookmap. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You've been riding ICT's dick for the last 10 years, and now you're trying to come over and use a hot word and say, I can read order flow. No, you can't. You don't have a clue what you're talking about. You're just scamming people. You're a scumbag. Squeezing. Right, more sellers at these highs. Now, if we find acceptance now inside of value, if any of you are still long, what you're now looking for is this to New York Open, and over this all the way up here to 625. This is the high volume level. All right, so you're runners only now. Oh, I'm absolutely frothing that I didn't get that. If we hold above value, yeah, if we hold above value, we can consider the rotation. All right, so we've got current day's value area high. They're going to keep squeezing. This is going to go and go and go and go. I can't get in. I've just got to accept it's gone. It's happened. It's gone. All right. you are now into potentially rotating yesterday's value, and we've built out, right, this, and this is your neckline, and if they reclaim H1, all right, and they reclaim previous day, they're looking for this and maybe even this now. I've missed it, folks. Unfortunately, I was long here. I wanted to re-long here. I missed it. I'm not going to chase this market. So congratulations if you're in this. I'm happy for you. Now I'm salty. Now I'm going to get annoyed that I started answering questions. Yes, Siri, fuck off. Oh, fuck me. Trade of the day, that. Distracted by someone asking, what's the best prop firm? Never again. Never again. I should just say, watch the videos. Not answering. Watch the videos. Watch the videos. Watch the videos. Pakistan is considering resuming stalled US-Iran talks to end their nearly 5-month Cold War. I mean, whatever. Of course they are. What do we have there? Is there any certainty in that? No. We're considering resuming talks which never worked in the first place. Fantastic. Let's just rip the market on that. All right, so your only thing you can do now is see if they want to do this. And if they don't do this, this becomes available again. All right, so we can flip this now. Buyers need to hold this zone. Oof. Do I consider a bid back here? Where's that last seller stuck? 72s. No, I'm not going over the entry anymore. I'm not going, like, no. I go over it all the time. Just watch the free videos. I'm going to focus now on this. No, I'm sorry. I've answered so many questions. I'm here for free all the time. I'm going to focus now to see if it gives me a setup. I'm really sorry. We went over it a billion times. I have to focus. I have to see if I can trade something. $45 still rejecting on semis. There's the previous day value area low. There's the bid. Will they give me a second leg down and then rebid it and trap? Sellers trapped 72s. What's this level here? 36s. Okay. 72 test. Big bar coming in here, which was the level that the seller got stuck at. So he's just covered out at 72. So that just got bid. Now, if we hold a bid here, I'm interested. I'd actually rather a second leg lower and a trap move to move back up, but I'm watching this carefully. Divergence at the highs, a delta divergence. So they want lower at the moment. Another rebid there. There's aggressive bid there. Surprised they're going to be left to stay in like that. And they just hit the tape with hundreds of orders. What's this level? 37s. Yeah, looks about right. 37s. Let's see. These. Wait to see if we come to 37s and then find a bid and then reclaim value. Mag back to New York Open. Fell breakout of IB on Mag. Semi still stuck under 145 with pressure. VIX turning upside, coming for 18 retest. I'm still waiting to see if we can come down to 37s and then reclaim value, and then I'll bid. If we reclaim value here, I'll consider it. You just trap sellers into 60s there. All right, I'm feathering in long here. There we go. All right, we've got to hold all bids. Big seller coming in here. We've got to hold all bids versus value area high now. Really nice. So the blue box held. This is what we're talking about. And we want value area high to hold. Any pullback has to hold value area high, which is previous stage value area low. So that this level here, I want this to hold now. All right, so we held this. We bid back through it. I was willing to it to come down to here. I want to see this hold for this move. If this doesn't hold, we will do a second leg and then look for it. But I'm long here. I'm looking for expansion up here right now. Trimming sun, there's a little imbalance here. See if we can get through this seller here at 12s. Big level. Get through 12s, we should try and get for a push up to higher day. I do not want to undervalue. Like I said, if they want to do a second leg lower, they will. Trying to, oh my God, don't do that. My stop's bigger than my actual order. Can we get this on properly? There we go, that's better. See if this will work. Looking good. Just want to be careful if they're going to do that second leg lower. We're looking good though. ES is looking good. Coming up to its absolute X level 2. VIX coming back downside. Mags reclaimed New York Open. I'm just not going to give this room because I'm very aware it might need that retest of 30 first. So if they can't hold this blue line, I will be out. I've already paid myself some. If we hold this blue line, I'm willing to hold. And if we start basing, I'm willing to add. All right, another big seller at these highs, 110 lot. I want to squeeze him out now. He just came in at 10s, 100 lot. I want to squeeze him out and just rip up to 37, 50, 75 quick. I want this seller out because he keeps smashing. Get him out the way. Twice he's come in there. Just go and rip his face off. Go. Push him out. Push him out. Go, 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 go. You're right on him. Here he goes. He's going to have to lift now. Get out my way. Fuck off, bud. You're gone. Right, stop can move up now. Let's see if we can get New York Open. Those sellers just got trapped again. So we had more of this happening up here. And I've used their pain to lift higher. Right, they came in twice around here. We're into put wall, and I want to just come up here now. Sorry for the guy that asked the question, but I knew I had to focus. I wanted to get a trade, right? I wanted to get a trade. I am here to trade as much as I am here to teach you. Beautiful. Come on, Mag, get through IB high now. Let's press. Remember, blue line is my cut. Blue dotted line is my cut. Good absorption. Buyer stepping in here. They're trying to absorb under 500. Can see them on the tape. They're walking up, which is what I want to see. We want to press 25, 37, 50 now. VIX coming back down. Everything, alignment's good. It'd be nice if semis could get a little bit of a move on. Where are they? Hello? Did I delete them? Oh my God, where's everything gone? There we go. All right, so nice lift on semis, nice lift on IGV, mag getting going. It'd be nice if semis can break here. It would really help us. Alignment's good. Here we go, folks. Come on, finish the move. Into lunch, finish the move. Do I suggest Bali for digital nomads? I mean, why are you asking me? I'm not a digital nomad. If you want to be with a load of fucking bogan Aussies, mate, I'm going Uluwatu, then yeah, go Bali. Bali. I haven't been to Bali since 2018. I can't comment, mate. I'm just taking the piss. Here we go. Here we go. Go, 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 go. Big buyer coming in here. Come on, push, 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 push. New highs, please. Get through the New York Open. Please. Be careful of this guy here. And here. All right, we're looking for up here if we can. You can pay yourself some here at the New York Open. All right, this is our red to green on New York session. Get through this. I really want to see this grey level. Grey level was very thick overnight. If we get lucky, we get all the rotation up to 712s, but we'll see. You just blew your account because of me. Suck your mum. You blew your account because of me. I haven't said one thing wrong today. I don't know what you're on. You're smoking crack, bro. Blew your account because of me. Oh, what? Because I told you to buy here? Or how about to buy here? Or how about to buy here? Or how about to short here? Or how about to short here? Get out of it, you fucking clown. We haven't fucking missed today, mate. I don't know what you're on. You are smoking crack, talking like that. We are long here right now, looking for this move. How have you blown your account? It's beyond me. If you've blown your account in a wiggle in there, then you are a full-blown, gambling, pathetic person, unable to control risk. It ain't anything to do with me. I've given you every level to the T. Oh my God, and we're breaking out. You've blown your account and we're breaking out. I mean, you're probably trying to go short against me, if anything. You're probably a silly person. All right, so if we find acceptance now, we're now moving higher. All right, so we're now, oh, don't move that. We've now found acceptance inside yesterday's value. All right, so the next target would be yesterday's previous day point of control, which is also previous day close, which would fill the gap. If we get through there, we can think about previous day value area high. That'd be a rotation of yesterday's value with a look below and fail after significant liquidity being built. That's the move we're looking for. All right, your runners only now. It's got to be Khan. Yeah, it probably is Khan. Khan, how's your stream doing, mate, with your 4 people watching you? I bet it's doing really well. All right, how are we doing on the likes, folks? Can we do some giveaways yet? All right, we're at 1,000. Remember, 1,200, we will give away an Apex account. 1,400, we will give away a Lucid account. All right, so let's do this first one. We've got 30 minutes left. Let's see if this trades. I've already paid myself into New York Open, so stops here at value. Either goes or it doesn't. Like I said, if it wants to do a 2-leg pullback, so be it. This will be my last trade of the day, though. This either goes or it doesn't. Right, we're going to set up this course. Just type course once in chat. And we give away an introduction to trading course. Once you guys do that, let's just make sure my stops. Oh, yeah, I've got to reduce that size here. And I'm just going to use the bathroom, folks. And I will be back. Might get a refill on this as well. Oh my God, how have you kept me in? Fuck me. Did M&Q not fill or something? That's very lucky. Very lucky. All right, still looks good for upside. Let's pull this winner. Winner of the free course is Throne Buffalo. Congratulations, Throne Buffalo. Let me know you're here in chat, my friend. Oh my God, that is so tight to take in my stop. Nice one, Throne Buffalo. All right, email me, please, info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into YouTube. I'll sort you out with a free introduction to trading course. All right, semis are starting to get stuck here. You can see this range developing on semis up here. All right, Mags trying to push. IGV looks good. So rotation starting here. We're starting to get stuck up here in this node. Buyers at the moment are willing to absorb this for now. All right, if that changes, we're going to get this move down here. And that's what we need to be concerned about as a buyer. It's why my stop's in here. If they lose that, we're coming down here. If they want to rebid it, we have another go later. If they fail to rebid, we go back into a rotation again. Remember, there is still H1 pressure. It's just whether we can return back inside here. So if we zoom out of the H1 right now, right, this is the area, right? We broke down from, right? If we find acceptance inside here, we come to the top side of that range because this is yesterday's range, right? That's yesterday and overnight. So it's a question right now, can we find acceptance into it, or are we going to reject and move back lower again? More strong selling at the high. I'm just going to move this over here for a second, guys, just so I can put these on. A lot of orders washing around. This is a big level to fight over at the moment. Big level. Yeah, a lot of activity here. There's a huge amount of activity here. There's delta divergence. There's definitely passive selling up here. We've had delta divergence at the highs. There is definitely passive selling up here, and no doubt about it. And the aggressive buying was here on the break. Was at 74s, which is where we revisited. You're about to take me. You've held me in again by a tick. They are desperately trying to hold previous day value area low here. Make sure you got a stop in, because if they liquidate that, it can be quite a fast move down now, because they've come to it a few times. This looks good. This is a good push. Semi's looking better. This is a better push. I don't like that buyer just got caught at tens. We caught sellers at the lows again on that pullback. This looks good. I think we've got a shot here, folks. We really have got a shot here. Hopefully they can just hold 500s now. This POC, it'd be nice if they just bid this now and just shove it. They're trying. Come on, semis, get up to VWAP. Help us out. That's a really good hold of 500s that I just talked for. Here we go. Right, buyers coming in this candle. I need these passive sellers to fuck off now. I'm getting impatient. That's a really good hold of 5s. The work's been done here. That last move did the work. We're seeing imbalances come in. We want upside squeezes now. Filled that imbalance down to 17s now. I don't want it under 17s now. Just rip. Just rip. Stop dancing. Complete the auction. Go higher, please. There's a lot of dancing here. I'm out there. I'm out there. I locked some more profit in. I'm done. Should have gone then and didn't. And that annoys me. Might be Alex trade. I don't care. I'm trying to manage that. We should have just squeezed then. We've just trapped sellers again there under 5s. At 5s is now the level. Oh, you've... Yeah, Soxel's not quite at VWAP. It's trying to get up to there. 145 on the Soxel. It needs to get up to. Oh, you fuckface. Leave your stop. Leave your stop. Leave your stop. Leave your stop. Oh, God. All right, once you get the breaks up here, this target, this is where you're looking for. Another seller at that highs. No stop loss. Yeah, no stop loss for Alex anymore. And watch what happens when I do that. I'll sit in 500 points of drawdown. Oh, it's coming now. Here it comes. That's why I said should have done it that time. You fucking prick. You prick. All right, good work, folks. You should get this. So it'd be a 150 point trade if you get this. Thank God it's Friday. Alex needs a rest. All right, more strong selling in this candle, about to get punished again. What are they doing, these silly people? They're marketing in, they're about to get punished. Up here, let's just measure this move out now as well. Yeah, we've got massive confluence to get up here, folks. This is where we're coming. All right, 600 and above. Everything's telling it. Look, we've got PDC, we've got a fib expansion, we've got a previous day point of control, and we've got neutral zone and a high volume node retest. This is where we're coming. This is where it wants to go. You're in from 360s. Is that where I missed it? This one. Oh, well done, man. It's a great trade. I mean, that's where we should have been in from. I mean, you guys were in. If I didn't have to talk about prop firms. This was the actual trade you want. What a killer. 250 pointer. But this is where I got in. This here. There it goes. Should get a volume ticker to read out while I'm talking. The problem is it just makes so much noise on the mic, and they're non-stop. All right, Mag, new high day. VIX, new lower day. Semis into VWAP here, 145. This is the check on semis. You might want to take a partial here or hereabouts. All right, it matters here on semiconductors. If they get through the VWAP, they're going to go 149, 150 test, which will be magnificent for you guys who are long. I am now a salty, moody bugger because I stupidly moved my stop when I should have left it, and let that be a lesson for you. Don't move your fucking stop. There's the VWAP rejection on semis. That's what I was saying. You should probably want to take something up here. All right, how are we doing on the likes? Are we there yet? Almost. Okay, remember, 1,200 likes, Apex giveaway. 1,400 likes, Lucid giveaway. Smash the thumbs up button for me, folks. Let's just get it done. And like I said, I would be somewhat cautious, right? You're in this right now. If you see this, there's chance of a wash. All right, remember, the best entry was here or here. This was a very, very good entry down here. Okay, so just be aware of that. Don't be buying too high, all right? You're trying to hold on to this or this. That's it. I wouldn't keep rebidding this. You're in danger of becoming liquidity if you do that. Do I have a video on Soxal, Mags, and Semis correlation? There's a free one I posted the other day. Yeah, you can see it on YouTube. It's a free one I posted the other day. 320 was 1 day min for the day. Crazy how that level holds. Just saying in case you don't use it. Do you mean the expected move? What do you mean? 1 day min. What's 1 day min? What's a min? Any reason for no short here? Well, there's no structural change, and you're in a high liquidity level, and we've hit low-hanging fruits. So a structural change here, really, you're going to need to come back beneath everything. And what do you now have for the day? Think about what we had today. We wanted to short today. Here, it moved too quickly. I think we did actually get a short here, did we not? I think we actually got a short there. Down to this box. All right, so just think about the curve. All right, we've been sell side, sell side, sell side, sell side, pivot, buy side, buy side. We're in buy side. Now we're into a big shelf here, and you can argue here. And there is a chance that sellers take over. The difference is now that when we did this move early in the day, we had free room to aim for. Now we've built structure, so buyers can keep defending this node. This is like there's your first node, there's your second, right? Buyers, you would assume, will defend this node. So if you're going to be short, what are you aiming for? It's going to be pretty hard to get down here, right? Given that we've hit the low-hanging fruit. Remember, we've taken out all the low-hanging fruit. Previous day lows, previous week lows, main pivot, expected move. So if you're going to get short, what are you short against? Okay, maybe you're short against here, but you're going to need a blow off and you need a rejection. And then now, unfortunately, because of how they've built this out, you don't have much to aim for. So it puts me off that trade now. Whereas earlier, when we were here, right, we had the targets, didn't we? We had previous day value area low, previous day low, previous week low, expected move. So we had a clean move down to there. Now we're buy side. The move back down to here is not as clean because now they have this. They've built that out and they can keep trying to defend it. So especially on a Friday, though I really want to go for that. And the news has also shifted, right? We're getting like positive news coming out. Continuation of daily short, but this is what I'm trying to say. We've already had it, my friend. We've had it, right? Where was the outside bar? It was the previous day low. So remember, we were short before previous day low. We were short here, and our target was here, here, and the expected move, which is in what? The LVN. All right. If we come here, the LVN. Right. So we've done. Think about what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but think about what you're saying. We've done it. We've already done it. We've already rejected and confirmed. Remember, the move this week was a Monday, Tuesday higher week to sell. All right. The objective of the sell is to take out the low hanging fruit. We've done it. So why are we going to get more sell pressure? We can, but then when we think about this, if we've achieved the move and we go back into the hourly, all right, let this sink in. Buy side this week, selling Tuesday, Wednesday high. Yesterday, big sell down. Today, sell to clean up the lows. Those in Discord will know I said last night, I'll be looking for that tomorrow. And you guys laughed and said, maybe it happens at 1 a.m. And I said, don't you dare say that. We got it today. Now we've done it, right? We've done it. So we're trading back inside right now. That's not to say pressure can't come, but at the moment, they have the ability to hold this, right? And this could be a look below and fail. And we can just wait until, you know, Monday. Do we gap up on Monday and get above this? Do we gap down and sell into this for lower prices? Do we open flat and continue to do this? Where's the edge today? I think we're running out of edge is maybe a better way of me putting it. Does that make sense? Another long entry. I mean, it's very hard here. Like, I think you're just in a lower time frame battle between here, right? Do they hold this pivot? The hourly traders sell this. The value traders sell this. You're in a really, just let me show you. There's previous day low. There's previous week low. So if we're not below that, we're in a look below and fail based on the daily, right? So this is a look below and fail now based on the daily if we hold above that. They can afford to come and test it and can still print higher. If we're above previous day's value area low, we're in a look below and fail based on value. So we've got a daily and a weekly and a value look below and fail so far. All right. So at the moment, buying opportunities are better, right, in terms of structure, but it's very hard to get through all of this. All right. The downside pressure, I'm trying to think how to put this. The main move is down, but we've done that move, right? So we might need relief, not today, but just in general, before we look for anything further, right? We've hit the objectives for the week. I'm trying to make you understand the objectives for the week. Look. Here's your weekly bar. Here's your weekly open. All right. Monday, Tuesday up. What are we testing? This range. Right. Once we do that, what are we looking for? Sell. Where are we looking to sell? Take out weekly lows. Fill this. That's the low volume node. Right. We've done it. We've done it. So what you're looking for now is scraps. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean it's not tradable, but it's scraps now. It's scraps. Would I say the good trades are gone for today? Yeah, probably. Because look, the easiest trades this week were shorts, right? Once we get Monday, Tuesday pullback, short to take out weekly lows. We did it. We completed it. The expected move was here, all right? The pre-market expected move was 359, all right? So we came under 359. The current expected move, potential expected move. What is that bell shift? Where have you gone? 119. And for the day now, they think we're going to be pinned. They're estimating we're pinned between 348 and 674. 348 to 674 is what they think. 348, 674. Right, options think we're going to be pinned here today. Expected move was hit. We've done it. I think we've done all the downside pressure we need. Upside feels like the game at the moment for a retest of that. Right, so you're either in long from here, or here, or here, or you're flat like me. Get the numbers on the expected move from the options chain on Tanuki. I'll do a video on it all soon. I honestly just have not had the time to do it. I will do it. I will do it, but I just haven't had the time. Exactly. Like, I agree with exactly what Real Phoenix just put up. It's been a banger of a week, guys. Sod the scraps. Think about the opportunities you've had just today alone. All right. Short. short, long. If you weren't a numpty like me teaching, long. That was the best long opportunity today. I can't put it in. Long. All right. Why are we now fighting over this? Look at the node. All right. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. You're holding long positions for this, or you're flat. That's all you want to do right now. Don't keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Our job is to understand when there's a really good opportunity and smash it when it's there. And when it's not a really good opportunity, back off, right? We just back off. The market has provided a lot of opportunities. You would have seen, like, what day was it this week where I was basically break even because I fluffed a trade, but then the next day provided good opportunity again, right? Okay. Let's do this next giveaway. Right, for Apex, because we're at 1,200 likes, type code FZT in chat. Remember, that's the code to use on all your favorite prop firms. Type it in chat now, and we give away a free Apex account. Oh man, these watch shops need to stop messaging me. It's a nightmare. I've got an addiction. Absolute nightmare. I'm on all the ADs now messaging me. We've got this in stock. We've got this in stock. We've got this. Stop it. You take all my money. Spent enough. Go away. All right, more sellers coming in here and getting themselves, at the moment, potentially a little bit caught. All right, more guys here. And here. All right, it's just a rinse around this. Again, I'm flat. I'm a bit upset that I moved my stop. That's probably the worst part of today has been me talking to you guys, not entering long there. That was the long I gave you on stream. And at least I got back in. Right, so that was the long off stream. This is the same thing you're looking for. Simple, isn't it? Selling, buying. Just make it stupid simple. Selling, buying. How much did missing that cost me? Well, it's cost me at least 200 points, so a fair amount. And I think one of these was where I missed prime entry here from saying goodbye to my wife. It happens. Right. Should we pull this winner, folks? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Winner is Late Signal. Free Apex on the way for you. Late Signal. Let me know you're here in chat. Nice. All right, Late Signal. All you need to do, email me, info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into YouTube, and I'll send you the code as soon as I'm done with this. What's my favorite timepiece? As in what I own, or like a Grail future piece? Please stop spamming Trader Max. I can see you're typing just the same thing. Teach us risk management and position sizing with this style. Like I don't know what you want me to do. Your position sizing and risk management all depends about where your entry is, where your stop loss is, and how big a drawdown you're willing to sit in. What do I own? I own quite a bit. Today I'm wearing my IWC Ingenieur. Today's piece. I recently, you might have seen on Instagram, some of you, I bought myself a large green dialed Cartier Santos. I also own a bimetal Datejust. I also own a No Time to Die 007. I also own a Pelagos. I also own a Planet Ocean Chrono 300M, 600M, sorry. And a few other bits and bobs as well. And I've got some... You prefer the Roadster? I don't like the Roadster, but like, this is the thing with watches, each to their own, right? The Roadster on my wrist just looks weird. Doesn't suit me. Bought a watch from Payouts last month. All thanks to you. Hey, nice, man. Nice, Rex. Great work, buddy. Omega 007 is lovely. Yeah, I've got the No Time to Die. I don't have the 007. I do like the new blue anniversary 007. I don't like the new black one based on the new game, which I do want to get the game actually, but I don't like that watch specifically, the black one, but the blue I do like. Ultimate watch list. Oh man, that's so hard. It's so hard, man. There's so much. There's a new game, yeah. There's a new James Bond game. They released a new watch for it. I'll show you. I'll find it for you. Probably a Royal Oak. Probably a Chrono Royal Oak. I think watch out. Let's find this game. Yes, the new game is called First Light. This is it here. And if I type in, I'll probably get First Light Omega. I'm not a fan of this. Hang on, let's find it. They've made it exactly like... Here it is. This is it. So this is how it looks in the game. So they've made it exactly the same as the game. So the traditional wave pattern. I don't like the placement of the hands. So it's a chrono. Just not for me. I just don't know why. I don't like the dial on it. Yeah, I love Vacheron. I really like Vacheron. I was very close to buying one recently. I had to stop myself. I really like the overseas. I really like the overseas chrono, but I really like the overseas. I really like it. I like the special editions that they've done as well. Really nice. You got the new Hydra Conquest. It looks quite nice. It's very good value, that Hydra Conquest. Did you get it on the mesh bracelet? What size did you get? Blue and black Cookie Monster. Is that on a mesh or is that on a steel? They're nice watches. I haven't tried them. I haven't tried one on. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Overseas with blue dial is just fucking next level. It'd be that or the AP for me. That's like a grail. Mesh available. It's on the mesh. Yeah, I think that's a really nice. That's a nice watch, and I think that's a great size. 39. I think it's a really good size. What is it, like 72-hour power reserve or something? It's a good bit of kit. It's a really good bit of kit, especially for the price point. Amazing bit of kit. All right, folks. Do you know what? You haven't got me there, but I don't care because I love you guys. So we're going to do... We're going to pull another winner here. Let's do the giveaway. All right, FZT one more time in chat. And we'll give away a Lucid account. Someone said, where am I from in England? I grew up in Sussex as a kid, and then I went to university in London, and then I stayed in London until I was 36. Is that right? How old am I now? No, it must have been 34. 34. 33 or 34, and then I left London and moved to Los Angeles, which is where I live now, until I inevitably moved to Texas. So I'm like Donkey Kong, I will be moving. What did I trade before? Small caps. So my journey went from small caps into large caps, into pretty much SPY and TQQQs, into futures. That's pretty much my journey. I still trade other stuff, swing trade. Just don't do it live, but I do post it on. I'm from Brighton, not far from Brighton, a little village outside of Brighton, not far. Most of my mates were in Brighton. Still in Brighton. A lot of them went to Brighton College, actually. We're old, though. Yeah, Austin it is. Austin it is, man. That's where I'm going from. You worked in Horsham. Yeah, I know Horsham. I know Horsham well. I used to play cricket there a bit. If I had one piece of advice for a 23-year-old, what would you say? Life advice or trading advice? No Discord with order flow course. It's only with the beginner to advance, unfortunately, my friend. Both. Well, I guess the advice would be fairly similar, right? It would be slow down. You've got time. So with trading, you've got time. Don't rush it. Don't focus on the P&L. Focus on nailing down the process. All right, focus on nailing down the process. You have way more time than you think when it comes to trading. With life, it would just be keep a positive mental attitude. Life is what you make of it. Get out there, get off the screens, go and have fun. Never be scared to introduce yourself to people and make new friends and new contacts. Like go and experience, travel the world as much as possible. Go and see as many different parts of the world and different cultures and how different people live as much as possible. And that will help you be open to how other people live their lives and how they view the world. Because if you stay in one place, you're going to have a very narrow mind. And there's a whole world out there. It's massive. So it's good to like get out there and see how other people live. You look good here, folks. I'm trying to stick with you until you get your target here. It looks like it's going to come into lunch. These are the targets. Remember, this is, I don't know why that's fallen short, but it is this, and runners beyond this are up here. You're almost there, folks. You're 20 and you feel behind. Mate, I'm 41 next month. You got time, trust me. I wish I knew these skills when I was your age. You have your whole life ahead. Once you learn the skill, right, once you understand how the market moves, you will be set for life because you will be able to look at anything and understand it, all right? Anything on the screen. You can, when we get a hot sector, right, then you can start trading that sector. It will be a lifelong skill that will allow you to move and travel the world and compound your gains. You have a long time ahead of you at 20, mate. Right, you're almost there. And let's pull the winner. 3, 2, 1. All right. German Ramirez for the Lucid account. German Ramirez. Let me know you're here. Continue drift up. You're almost at targets, folks. Yeah. All right. Congratulations. All right. Same thing for you. Email me, please. Info at flowzonetrader.com. Info at flowzonetrader.com. Screenshot of you logged into your YouTube so I know it's you, and I'm going to sort you out with a Lucid account, 50K Flex Lucid account. All right. Happy days. All right. You're pretty much there, folks. I've got to get out of here, but you're pretty much there. You're pretty much at target. So I would just say, move your stop up. you really don't want to lose this shelf now. Remember, our stop was here, right? Once we bid this and we held, our stop moved to value, right? They should hold this. Really, you want them to hold the top of this shelf now. So you'd want all pullbacks to hold in towards 40s and 50s. You're looking for this target. You're looking to close the gap into 621. You got previous day point of control basically at 630, and you got this gamma up at 85. So anywhere in here is a TP. Just be very careful that they don't come for this before they do it. So make sure you've paid yourself or moved your stop. Just be proactive on the way. Hopefully I've kept you safe today. I think that is a pretty good looking board of the potential trades that either I took or I called out for you on stream. What is a really good Friday. It's one of the best Fridays I've seen for a while. Answer the last few questions. Can we get to POC it? Yes, very up to the previous day point of control. Yeah, that's the target. When AI and quantum computing meet, we're cooked as far as the market. What do you think? No, I don't agree. I don't think it would change anything. All right, team. Have a great weekend. Liquidity's here. You're about to tag it now. All right, so the 366 lot up here and then a 600 lot above them. Don't be a dick for a tick. All right, 70+% off here. Next runner here. Next runner here. Don't look for anything above that. It's very unlikely it gives you anything above that. All right, this was a killer trade. These were killer trades today. Really, really good. And look out for the newsletter. I'll get that newsletter done after we close today. It'll be in your inboxes in the morning. Make sure you sign up. The links are down below. If you haven't signed up, you want to sign up. Peace out, folks, and see you Monday. All right, see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Get off the screens. Get off the screens. Go and have some fun. There's a whole world out there. Catch you later.